Aloha! Estamos aqui em Saquarema, na praia de Itaúna, e estamos com o Aloha Podcast em parceria com a WSL. E eu tenho hoje um convidado muito especial. I have a guy from Hawaii. You guys know that I love Hawaii. Hawaii is my second home. And the father of this guy is my good old friend, Tony Moniz. And here we have Seth Moniz. Hey, man, mahalo to have you here. Big pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Great to be here.
I don't have words to tell how much I love to Hawaii because I was in Hawaii in 1972. And I went for the World Championship in California and come back and live in Sunset Beach in front of Camelot.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, of
and
course.
live me, Ian Cairns, Mark Warren, Peter Townley, one South Africa. So it was a crazy good house, you know.
Heavy crew right there.
Yeah, good times, you know. And you look sunset, my favorite wave. So it's a big pleasure to have you here. Talk a little bit about your father.
Yeah, man, growing up having, a dad that basically did everything I'm doing right now. And, but I never knew he was like such a legend in surfing. He was just dad to us growing up. He was the guy that worked his ass off to provide food for us and to provide, home and shelter. And so he's just kind of looked at him as dad. And, he was a surf instructor in Waikiki Beach, where surfing started essentially. So I grew up in Waikiki surfing, and he would let us go out there and play in the ocean. He watched us, but he just let us have free range and go for it. And he worked all day long. So
in the surf school?
At the surf school, yes. My dad was a beach boy down there for, the last 30 years. So after his, surfing career, he raised 5 kids, 5 of us. So, he had, I'm sure back in the day, surfing was all for the love. I mean, there's contests and people were making a little bit of money, but, it wasn't going to set you up for life. So, yeah, he did that. And it was an amazing childhood, just being able to surf every day in Hawaii. It's basically, we have one season in Waikiki. There's waves all year long. So, yeah, dad was a really humble, supportive father. He never really pushed me to be where I'm at right now. He kind of just let me free. He was always, there were some times I was like, I'm surprised he doesn't like push me more, or like, he's just like, no, just do what you want to do. And yeah, so he never told me, wake up early, you got to go surf, He kind of let us figure it out and let us find out
what we want,
what we want to do and how bad do we want it. So
one thing about your father that he have the spirit aloha, your father is a humble man, friend guy, like lovely people, so I'm very stoked about had a pleasure to meet him, Yeah. And now I'm going to talk about the sponsor. This is my sponsor, Sense. This is good for people who your father make box, good for making like triathlon academy when you transpire, so you put to wash the clothes and comes clean,
nice and fresh,
good smell. And then also have a Qboa, is just to clean the house. They're my sponsor, so I thank you very much.
Nice.
And I have also Gourmet, which is when we record in Rio, we have special Japanese food, but here we cannot provide. But when you go Rio sometime, it will be a pleasure to receive.
I love Japanese food.
A pleasure for you here. A present for you from Cia Duarte.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Open it?
Open it. It's a mini Aloha for you, like so you take. It's light, you can take home. You
travel with it.
Yeah,
so
you
don't
remember.
Forget.
Yeah, Uncle Rico,
Uncle Rico. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Amazing.
No? So, okay, thank you.
Obrigado.
Oh, my prazer.
Obrigado.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
I also have here my biography. You're the only one. We did over 100 programs. Then for you, I have my special gift. And I put here, to my great friends, Seth and Tony Moniz, my special Aloha from Brazil, great surfers, Rico de Souza, Saquarema. and I give to you. And I'm proud because I have old pictures, and I have here, let's see, me with Sean Thompson, Buffalo Famakaha, Greg Unall, Dan Keloha, Sandy Garcia, Ben Canapuri, Al Chapman. So for you.
Honor. Thank you so much.
No, it's a pleasure because in life it's great because you travel, you make friends, you surf the waves, and for me, Hawaii is a very special place, because Sunset Beach, oh, good, huh? This is my hot dog board.
That's crazy.
It's 36 foot, small
36
one.
foot.
36 foot, small bag. And we have 6 world champs in a Guinness book. I make a board 8 meters, 27 seconds, centimeters. Then I make a 9.5, 10.5, and I make this one 11.5, but I didn't put in a Guinness, too much work,
Yeah.
And they have another one. The Australians have 38 guys in a wave. I put 42, then I put 84, and then 100. All
That's
Guinness.
crazy.
Yeah, just a good time, It's,
I think you might be able to do that in Waikiki.
oh, Waikiki.
Maybe every day there's like 60 people in every wave.
You're right. I do during the surf contest to give attention for the sponsor. Was alive on the TV,
Yeah.
so it was
Smart.
good time. But talking about the beginning, your career, where your father start to surf?
My father? Where did he? My dad, he grew up in Kalihi, so that's a small little, it's like ghetto of town, It's
In town, right?
Yeah,
Town.
my dad grew up in town. It's a hard place to grow up, He lived right next to a prison. He grew up on, there's gangs, street gangs, so he grew up pretty hardcore.
With the boys, right there.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily like a surf town, not at all. He grew up where there's streets, grew up fighting, street fight, boxer, My grandpa was a boxing coach in a gym over there. And it was just like it was a rugged neighborhood to grow up in. He had 3 older brothers and a sister. And it's definitely a way different
Than now.
Yeah, way different than how I grew up. But all his brothers surfed, growing up in Hawaii, and he was the youngest. So he kind of took after all his older siblings, and surfing was what kind of kept him out of trouble, You're out there in the ocean. You can't get in trouble out there. I think for him, growing up and then making it out of there, out of where he lived.
Very important.
Very important, and then obviously had awesome surfing career, traveling the world, meeting guys like you. And
I met him in South Africa, and he was at our house, and one guy did respect your father.
Yeah.
And I know your father is a Golden Glove, beautiful boxer, number one. And he's so good. I say, hey, bro, he could kill the guy. I say, hey, bro, shut up. He didn't give a shit for the guy. And so beautiful attitude.
Yeah, I think when you kind of grow up in that environment, he never really felt like he had to prove anything, especially in the surf world. I think he'll tell us he was never afraid of surfers, and he was more afraid of guys in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, I think he was able to just have a solid head went on his shoulders when he was surfing or whatever, and he knew he could back himself up, so he felt like he didn't have to prove himself to anyone.
And what good thing, like Tony, he have aloha spirit, in his smile, he always treat everybody good. And I have a good friend that we travel to France together. He come to Brazil, he have a sub-school too in Waikiki. Clyde Aikau, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just passed away.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, I think, will be the pedal out. So I make a program special. I get goosebumps, just special for Clyde.
Yeah.
Because
Clyde,
Clyde is legends, We travel many times. And last year, I went visit him in Waimanalo, only when the Hawaiians leave, it's a farm place. And we have the dogs, and we have a talk, a long talk, bro. It's good. And this year, I call and I talk his telephone and say, please let me visit Clyde.
Yeah.
Because I love him.
Yeah.
I'm in Hawaii. I like to see him.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, Clyde, it's not so good, his wife. And then I was already in California, and I find out he passed away, And we bring some big riders who ride there at ICAO, and we bring him here to Brazil for a special museum of surfing, and then. But he's gonna be in good hands, because he put a lot of seats good. He always have the Aloha spirit, and a special guy, and he's in my heart.
Yeah. Uncle Clyde, I grew up with his son, Ha'a. You know his son, Ha'a. Yeah. So Ha'a grew up like staying at her house, sleepovers.
And I tell you, the first board of him, I give to him.
Yeah.
I brought from Brazil the board of my son, and I give to him, So because I feel tied, and he give me, when he come to Brazil, Eddie's board.
Yeah.
And I have the museum of surf, but this board I never put in exposition. I keep on my, because it's a special.
Hang it up on the wall.
Yeah, in my business place, I have, So it's so good to be able to talk about Hawaii, have you here, anything you need here, man, you're ready, When I was first time to California, I went to Hawaii, and people treat me so good, like this time, nobody know Brazil. Can be funny for you, but the American, the Hawaiians, they only know Buenos Aires and Amazons. Where's Brazil? Because people didn't study, we didn't have an internet, And I remember many times being Sunset Beach and have Papa. I didn't know him good, Papa Icao, and the brother, they have an old car like caminhonete.
Like Volkswagen?
No. Like a pickup
truck,
pickup, and sit there with the Hawaiians and I go talk.
Having beers right on the beach, tailgate down.
The Hawaiians, sometimes you look for them, they look like they mad, they tough, they don't look. But when you open your heart, bro, you go talk to them, and man, they treat you like nice, like Makaha too, You go Rusty, Buffalo, Duende Soto, you go there, open your heart. Many times I go surf Makaha, and Dwayne say, go Rico, really nice. You feel home, so it's great, this feeling, be respected by the Hawaiian.
Yeah, I think you said it right there, is like, especially back then, they're a little more hardcore. They had to stand their ground. They're very protective of their home, their land, their beach. But if you like you walked up to them and said hi, you open yourself up to them, and then once you're in, you're their brother. They got you for life, for sure. It's like, I think, because maybe a lot of Hawaiians, I feel like they're shy-ish, they keep to their small crew, but then when a guy like you maybe comes in and feels open, they're like, oh yeah, you're one of us now, and they'll take care of you, feed you, and I'm talking friends for life.
72, almost over 53 years, going to every year I go, and I love sunset, This year I went late in the season, and the year before I went late and didn't catch many waves, And but this year I caught good, got sunset, no wind. Sunset, no wind is a dream,
amazing,
right? Because for me, I'm older, like when two wind, maybe more hard to ride, All right. You live in town. In town, what's your favorite wave in town when you Alamona?
I live in town. I live in the South Shore. I'd say the southeast of the island, kind of close to where you visited Uncle Clyde.
Oh,
so not in the
east side,
in the city, but just outside on the southeast side.
Good waves there?
There's fun waves, yeah. There's a lot of good waves. Not all the time, but they get good. I grew up surfing Kewalo Basin, which is next to Bowls. Kind of a lot of I would say the best surfers from the last 2 generations from town. Like grew up there. Carissa Moore, Ezekiel Lau.
Yeah.
My brothers, my sister, a lot of up and coming kids. They kind of surf. Qboa's just offers. It's like a perfect playground to learn everything, you know?
Easy,
From little
way.
barrels, airs, turns, backside, front side. It's kind of got everything. So it's our little training grounds.
Oh, really?
That was my home break growing up.
Oh, really nice to know. Yeah, I love Hawaii. Last year when I went, they make a barbecue Ala Moana. You know, all the was Fast Série, the world champ of longboard, the guys from Makaha. I was the only Howley guy. You know?
No, you're not a Howley.
Yeah,
no.
You know Howley like but thank you in Waikiki in front of just close to Ala Moana. You know. Yeah. And so it was so good. We have the Hawaiian food. I love the Hawaiian food.
Yeah,
pork,
you like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really comfortable. You like Ala Moana?
Yeah.
Ala Moana.
Yeah, I grew up surfing all those waves over there. Bulls, Ala Moana Bulls, Kaisers.
Yeah.
You know where Kaisers?
Yeah.
They're right. Yeah. In town, it's great. I think like growing up in town, there's so many waves that offer a different variety of sections, and they're not as powerful as the North Shore, but you can practice. But you can practice on waves in town like more. You know, it's a lot more forgiving. It's friendly. It's like Bali, you know, softer waves, playful, user friendly.
So beautiful. Yeah. The blue, the color of the water.
Then you go to the North Shore and it's heavy, and you know, up there so growing up surfing town and then making my way to the North Shore and learning how to surf heavy, bigger waves, Pipeline, Sunset, Haleiwa.
The guys from town, first time I went there, I went to Peru on a Saturday, and I meet all the Hawaiians guys, and it was Harold Howley. Do you know this guy? He's the priest of the ceremony of Eddie. Do you know Eddie Aikau?
Yeah,
have
of
a
course.
priest.
The
other day I meet him. He was the first guy. He used to ride Waimea, you know?
Okay. No.
And I went to visit him in 72. He took me to Ala Moana. I said, Rico, I didn't know anything. First place is Haleiwa, because it's an easy way to, not too easy.
No,
right?
Haleiwa is heavy.
Yeah, but the day I went was okay. I didn't remember big. Then he took me to Pipeline. I said, Rico, you ready to pipe? It was a 6 foot, you know, was a big 6, 7 foot. But even that is dangerous.
Dangerous, you know? Pipelines.
But I fall in love for Sunset, you know. Yeah. We live by Cameland. And you can see the channel, you know. You look like this
perfect big wall. It's a mountain.
But no, look clean, because you don't. When you see from front, you have a more heavy.
Yeah.
But when you see
perspective from the side,
it's good, you know. I already talked this story here. This time, through no leash. Yeah. And we didn't know anything about suns, about the current. The guys today, your friend go there, say, go here, go there, get out here, Vels Reef. You teach everything. But over there, I have a California board, 7.2, wrong board. Went out, no leash, was 8, 10 sets of 12, you know. And then was big, I was scary, and come a set and took my board, you know. And then, oh shit, I'm gonna die here.
Gotta swim in.
Shit. And my board went Camelot, you know. And then I didn't know the current. And then I see a board in a channel, you know.
Yeah.
And then I say, oh, bro, the only way I go is get the board, you know. So I get the board, and the board belongs to a big Hawaiian guy, Gary Spitz, you know, Waimea guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know Gary Spitz? Yeah. Big guy, you know, and I don't know English. And the guy say, fuck, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. I say, oh, you're gonna kill, but outside the water will be easier. You know?
Then, let's go in first.
I go wait first. I didn't know anything. Then I wait there for the guy. I say, man, very sorry, you know, I was scary my first time here. And the guy was so big, he said, okay, bro. And I come to be a good friend of him later, you know. I was humbled. Instead, just don't say nothing. I say, bro, I'm very sorry. I don't speak English, but sorry. And sorry. And he's so big, Gary Spears. He was at the time like on a 70s, you know, like who was Erky. One guy was from Vietnam. I forgot his name. Erky. He's a big rider.
Was he older? He's older than you.
Yeah, older.
Like Jose Angel.
Yeah, like Jose Angel. This guy went to Vietnam.
Oh, he did.
He went to Vietnam. Heavy guy.
Yeah.
Greg No. What's the name of the guy who was a teacher who died?
Jose Angel was a teacher.
Yeah, he was a teacher too. Jose Angel.
Yeah.
And this guy, Ride Why Mad, and so many good memories, like for Hawaii. What's your predilect wave in the North Shore? Pipe.
My favorite wave is pipe.
Pipe.
Yeah, 100%. Whenever it's good, I'm out there. Even when it's bad, it's now that the tour only has pipeline as like the CT event. I kind of can focus on that and just surf out there. I surf Rockies and Haleiwa and Sunset still when it's good. But now that last year, the last few years, Sunset was a CT event. So I put a lot of time out there and I had to get better at that wave because, growing up, all I wanted to surf was pipe. So the last 5-6 years, I surfed Sunset. I had pipe down. It's okay. I understand the wave. So I surf Sunset a lot.
One time you was competing in a meeting.
Yeah.
Your father was there. Oh, my son's there.
Yeah.
Your sister. Your sister's too was world champ at longboard, nah?
2-time world champ longboarder. By the time she was maybe 20. And then she's like, I'm done. That's good enough.
Yeah,
she never really liked competing.
Yeah, compete's a different game,
It's a different game. She liked surfing for the fun of it. And she did the competing and she enjoyed it, but I don't know.
It's tough, right?
She was a really good shortboarder too as well. Amazing. But she didn't surf. She didn't have that. She didn't want to train and travel and do, it's hard work. It's work at the end of the day when you travel and, you stay on this.
My son surfed really good. He rides Nazaré, paddling, chopo, big Sunset, pipeline, but he's like that. He don't like the sponsor, the traveling, the competing is a different game, right? You have the free surf. He still surfs a lot, but free surf is more freedom, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And when I come on the 70s, 80s, the best place for surf was Sunset. Everybody, if you go Sunset, you can be world champ. But if you don't ride Sunset good, you're not gonna be respect.
Yeah.
Did you heard about this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course. I think Sunset was the what do you call it? The Super Bowl. Yeah, it was the mecca of surfing.
Yeah,
I think you guys wrote it better.
Yeah,
you guys wrote it better than we do now.
Yeah.
You watch the clips of you back in the day, maybe the boards are different, the single fin, long, just the lines, the long bottom turns.
Yeah. The fade.
The fades, the long, big, drawn out turns and big barrels.
I'm a good... When I start to surf Sunset, I always follow the good guys because a wave difficult to ride, Yeah. So I follow Erekal, Berricanapune, the guys who knows because shift so much,
Yeah.
And still today, after surf many years, still hard.
It's tough for everyone, no matter what.
Every swell is different.
Yeah.
And if you have a good board, makes a lot of easier, And I have the Australian was Bruce Raymond, Terry Fitzgerald, Ian Cairns, Mark Warren, PT, some good. And the Hawaiians always surf better, they Sandy Garcia.
You have a connection with the wave.
Yeah. And so good, Which is after pipe? Which is a wave that you like?
I could just name the three. It's easy. Pipe, Haleiwa, Sunset. Those top 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're in Rockies. Rockies is always a fun wave to go, but yeah, I think those 3 waves for me just do it. It's Haleiwa is amazing.
Can be heavy. I surfed one time in 72 or 73. I bought a Jeff Hackman board.
Yeah.
Golden Bridge was the name. Mike Eaton. You probably don't know those shapers.
No, I know Jeff Hackman. Yeah. Yes, I know Jeff Hackman, but I don't know his models.
Yeah, I shaped to him some boards. Do you know his book he have in G-Land?
No.
He make a book and the picture from the mid double page of my board.
Oh, yeah.
He liked my boards, you know. And then I bought his board, and before the final in Haleiwa, didn't have like today. They rest. Semi-final, they say, 40 minutes can go out, you know. And I bought the board, no jet ski, no lifeguard. I say for the organization, can I go out, just catch one wave? And I went out, you know, I didn't know the current. I lost the board and say, Jesus Christ,
gone.
I gone, you know, like a good experience, you know. Yeah. And was a final at ICAO, and one Australian guy, you know, was tough, you know, so.
That's amazing.
No, it's good memories, you know.
Yeah.
Buena Point, you can get big there, huh?
Whew, yeah.
That, you know,
heavy wave.
Yeah, you look there, no waves, and you say, you go like this. You know, when you get there, when the sets come, is crazy.
I've never really surfed it big though. You know, when I watched my dad do a tow event there when I was young. They used to have a tow-in event, so I watched that. That was pretty cool. Big barrels, like 25 feet, massive.
Really big.
Yeah.
Talking about the competition now, which type of training you do? You do some special training, something?
Yeah. At home, I train. It's a gym called Itani Athletics, and it's a lot of training based from Japan.
Oh,
so, yeah. It's actually really. I struggled with back problems for like a couple of years when I was young. The year before I qualified, I had like this. I had a slip disc and a bulge disc in my lower back, and I had pain for like 6 months where I couldn't touch my toes. I couldn't surf. It was like the worst thing ever. I couldn't do anything fun. Like just stay home, rehab. So I've always dealt with that. So the last few years I've been training with this guy. He's from Japan.
Yeah.
Barely speaks English, but he's like a master at
He's here?
No, he's not with me here, but during the off season when I go home, he builds a program for me and I take it on the road. And it is, which I was scared of, was lifting weights, weight training. I was kind of always scared of that because of my back, but he just taught me how to do it correctly, you know, the correct movements.
You gotta help because I have the back L2, L3, L4.
Yeah, my L5, S1, L4, L5 is like bulging into my back, so I still have pain sometimes, so I have to be really careful. But yeah, I'd say it's just more weight training and functional training. It's basically I just want my body to feel good for 6 months out of the year. You know what I mean? During the season. During the season is like the whole goal, because I've been hurt throughout the season so many times where I've dealt with injuries. So I'm getting older. I mean, you know, growing up and learning, maturing and learning. Because before I was so reckless, surf pipe, jump over a 10-footer, do stupid stuff.
Can get hurt
easily. So the training has just helped me surf better and maintain a strong body throughout the whole season. Because I've been gone from home all year long, you know. I did 5 events back to back without stopping. You know, I was like boom, 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 5 events.
It's hard, no?
It's hard. So you have to still train on the road, surfing every day. Then you're traveling in between. You know, that I think what messes our bodies up that people don't realize is the traveling bit. The dragging the bags across airports, sitting in a plane for 25 hours. Airports. You get sick a lot. Like all of that, trying to just stay healthy throughout a year's.
And when you get out, your routine is worse, right?
Yeah.
When you're home, you can have your routine. Yeah, you have your
routine, you know. You know all the right foods to eat. Now when you travel, some places you don't know.
Don't eat as good as
good. It's hard, but yeah, I think training has been super important for me. Like I'm on the smaller side for sure on the tour. Like I think me and Felipe and Italo are probably around the same size. So I've always weighed around like 145. That was my weight when I first got on tour, 140, 145. And then like the last year I put on like 20 pounds.
Oh,
like
yeah.
160.
But it's good, no?
It's good. And I was kind of scared of that. And then I gained weight and I feel way stronger, way healthier. My back is stable, you know, just I can maintain strength throughout the year. So
people don't know the back pain when you have trouble can't do nothing.
Can't do nothing. Can't tie your shoes. Can't put in your pants.
Yeah,
I think a lot of surfers deal with that at some point in their life.
I had this problem a lot for 2 reasons. I shape over 50 years, so with the planer. Now I don't use the planer many hours, but before I stay 10 hours in the shape. Over. Now the racks go up, so stay up. But that, and I get hurt when my father died. We moved, so I picked up all the things for the house, like heavy, and so hurt we didn't know as much. As now we're more intelligent. How
start to learn about your body and how
the body.
That's not good. Don't look down all day long.
And when you travel in Hawaii, which is the other islands, Honolulu Bay, beautiful.
Honolulu Bay is amazing waves. Like Oahu has great waves, but some of the islands even have better waves, and some of the islands you can't really even talk about. Kauai is one of them. Kauai has amazing waves, uncrowded. But you have to kind of go there with the respect of someone there. You better guys. Know someone if you're going there. Like even myself, from being from another island, like I'll message a friend, hey, I'm coming.
Just cool kind.
But I'm friends obviously with a lot of the locals there, so it's open arms. But I
went to Peru, and this time Peru, the world champ was Felipe Pomar, and Peru invite all the whole. They invite Paul Strike, Joy Cabell was. You heard about this guy? He was from Kauai, Other guy, my good friend, Joel Cabell. The great surfer. He won in Peru, and we brought him to Brazil, and we enjoyed, Other guy, my good friend, you probably know, Glenn Kalukukuli.
From Kauai?
From Kauai, crazy.
So many amazing surfers from Kauai.
Bro, the guy, he ride for Brewer, It's like I call family, like Moniz family, pure Hawaiian, My good friend, we went to South Africa together,
So many talented surfers from Kauai that don't even, there's a lot of kids I know in Kauai that best styles, world-class surfers, but they don't leave the island. They just surf there. They stay there. They have great waves.
When I went to Maui, first time, was a big Waimea. The only guy who went out was Eddie. I don't know if that was in the 70s, And I went with Ricardo Pomar. He's a brother of Felipe, And the waves was good, was. In the morning was closing out, just for big, And so I came late afternoon, and I never rode before. Nobody told me none. So late afternoon was crowd, so everybody was going out. It was, good, I'm here. But everybody going out, so I stayed one of the last guys, and I didn't know how to get out, It was dark. I have to, and then I get out, I didn't know the way, have a special way to go.
Climb up the mountain.
I have to climb, really, bro. I have to climb, describe fucking Brazil,
the goat trail, Now, I'm sure back then was harder. Now there's, they make trails everywhere.
But this time it was a heavy experience, And have other place too, windmills,
Windmills,
It's shallow place. It's like a local place now. Still like that.
It's Maui's still pretty localized. It's a bit more mellow than Kauai.
I used to know Victor Lopez, Jerry Lopez brother, Jerry's a great surfer. Huh?
Jerry, amazing.
I met him in Peru at this time, 697. We became good friends, and about a couple years ago, they make a shaping room on the beach and brought Jerry. And I had a pleasure to shape Jerry Lopes model.
Amazing.
So on the beach to make a nice thing, they put some shapers to do. Who shaped your boards today?
I rode Tokoro surfboards. Uncle Wade, he shaped my board my whole life. Since I was, just pretty much started surfing until I was, my third year on tour. I was stayed with him, and then the last couple of years I've been riding Sharp Eyes.
Sharp Eyes.
So Marcio Zuvi, he's been shaping my boards.
My good friend.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's really helped me with my boards. I've been riding him the last two. This is my second year on tour with him. So I'm still learning, learning how to work with the new shaper. And learning the models, but I'm feeling solid, like amazing boards.
Yeah, Marshall, good guy. He invited me to go to San Diego,
Yeah.
And I'm also good at Yuffie.
Yeah. He's here?
We talk. And Tuba, do you know Tuba? Tuba is the guy who do sharp ice in Brazil.
Okay,
no, one of the guys.
I don't think actually, I think I messaged him on WhatsApp.
Yeah, it's good time. Surfboard grow up so much,
Yeah,
I have a good story for you.
Yeah.
When I was in a world championship in California, Ocean Beach, and the Hawaiian team was surfing really good, and Ipa brought the Swallow in 72. On a 72, he showed, and the guys was surfing so much better than everybody with a white tail for
the
swallowtail. Guys on the beach cut the square tail. Just surf, didn't, like a good time. I don't know if you met Mark Liddell, Buttons, was Michael Hole, and the winner was Jim Blears.
Jim Blears.
Jim Blears was the champion, 72.
From where? Hawaii?
From Hawaii.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was the lifeguard of the Sunset Tower.
Okay.
And his father was a Lord Blears. Have you heard about Lord Blears?
No.
His father.
I'm learning new stuff today. So I'm getting educated.
He was the guy who announced the boxing, the pro boxing. Your father,
my dad will know.
Will know, and have the Lord Blears, the voice, special voice. You get goosebumps, man. He was in a war with, I think, Japan, and they get caught. And he jumped in the water. They was killing everybody. It's in a book of Hawaii.
No way.
They was cutting the guy, and he jumped from the water, and they somehow pick him up, and he drink his pee-pee. His piece, and get survival, And I had he had a brother and a sister who served too, Good stories, great stories. I like to learn stories about Hawaii. The culture of Hawaii, very interesting. A lot to learn. And surfing all this time in Hawaii was your worst wipeout, because every time I go to Hawaii, I have a worst wipeout.
Oh, there's so many.
Sunset.
I had a sunset pretty bad one. I've had some scary moments, because sunset, I wouldn't say necessarily I got my worst wipeout, but in the worst position,
Yeah,
where you're
cut inside.
You get, boom, long hold down, plus you're in the impact zone for 10 minutes and you can't get out.
Yeah.
And that's scary, and you start getting sucked out, back out into the lineup, and you lose your board, and you're swimming, and there's foam, and you're trying to breathe, but you're sucking up the foam, and you're coughing in the whitewash. That is scary. Like that's more scary than falling at pipeline. 100%. Because the pipe, you take a big wipeout, you get pushed inside pretty quick. Yeah, you're on the beach.
If you don't get hurt.
If you don't get hurt, obviously you smack your head. Game over. But sunset will test your heart. It'll test your heart and your inner grit, your athleticism, being in the impact zone, getting pounded by 10 footers on the head. And it's deep, so you go deep.
You only know when you go through this situation,
Yeah, you're never ready until it happens, and you're like,
One of my favorites there, I love Jocos. You know Jock Sutherland?
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
Great guy, humble guy. He's a little bit old. It was Lopez, Rory, Jackie Dunn, and Jack Sutherland, the kings of pipeline, right?
Yeah.
Who's the kings now? Who's the best guys?
Best guys? I mean, you got to put Jamie, John, Baron Mamiya. I would like to say myself is up there.
Dennis Pang's son, the little kid.
Makana Pang is incredible. He's tiny and he catches all. He knows how to get in a rhythm, and he's got the respect for sure. I mean, Koa Rothman, of course, Eli Olsen, Kala Grace. There's a lot, but I mean, there's obviously like the top guys out the back, like your Johns, your Jamies, Barron. Those three guys I'd say are
John. I love John surfing.
Yeah, John's. I mean, naturally just amazing.
Yeah, I met John. You probably saw him when he was young. He was about 7-8 years riding the pipe, and he have all the the
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen, you know, like, and today I love the way he served. Very talented, you know, the speed he put on the board.
He's I think the best surfer in the world.
I think today he don't need so much compete, you know.
I don't think he really needs to. I think he will come back next year because of the new changes. It's going to end in Hawaii. I think he'd like to do that.
He's like your sister, you know, like it's important, but it's not that important.
Yeah,
right?
he's so naturally good, and he won 2 world titles. He's raising a kid now, so I'm sure he's pretty happy where he's at, but he'll probably get hungry off season. You know, he's taking a year off and watching all of us surf, and he's gonna watch someone lift up the world title this year. And
what I like about him, he ride 2-foot waves and win the HAVAIANO.
Yeah,
you know, like
he's the best surfer from 2 foot to 40 feet.
He have the speed he put on the board, where he goes in a pocket of the wave, and his line, his
lines are different. His boards are, no one can surf his boards, you know.
Who shapes for him?
John Paisel. Yeah, so his boards are, I think he's super switched on and really smart with his equipment. I heard he can basically shape a board, like, but I think he's put in a lot of time with the surfboards. And I think growing up on the North Shore and having that in your backyard, and obviously you had to put in the work and learning just how to surf these big open face waves. And he draws the craziest lines, and he's riding small boards on
what I like about
waves.
him, beside his style, is his lifestyle. He like to sail, he like to do a lot of sports on the ocean, you know. And I have a friend who sponsor here the energy drink, you know, like MT.
I think John is sponsored. He's a waterman, you know. He's spent his time in the ocean, foiling, sailing, surfing.
You know Dennis Peng? I call him Ping Pang.
Ping Pang.
Great surfer. He rides by mad, you know. And we went traveling many ways. He shaped with me, you know. He teach me a lot. Al Chapman, you know who Al? Crazy Al.
Crazy Al.
Crazy Al.
Al Chapman,
big heart.
Bunch of legends. You guys paved the way for us, you know. My dad likes to say, he's like, we were the test dummies for you guys. You know, do you understand? He's like, we were the test dummies. Just, you know, the experiments. You guys experimented a lot. And
when you travel to Australia, what's your favorite wave there?
I love West Oz, the rawness of Western Australia. It kind of resembles Margaret River. I mean, the box, North Point.
The box, I never served the box.
It's like heavy waves, just like Hawaii, you know? I like that. And then if not, Snapper Rocks, Kira, those waves are really nice.
Kira, Kolangata, longboard. Good wave, huh?
Good wave,
And tell me something. When you ride the big wave, ride sometimes Waimea? You use big board over there.
I haven't surfed Waimea a ton. I've surfed Jaws. I surfed Jaws a couple times. I had a moment in my, I was 18. I went to Jaws. I actually got surprised to go to Jaws. I didn't know I was going. And Shane Dorian came to the Billabong house with a board for me. And it was the morning of the Eddie Aikau.
Oh, shit.
So the Eddie Aikau just got called off. And he came with the board, and they're filming it. This magazine was filming it. Came in and surprised me. He's like, hey, Seth, here's this surfboard. And it had the same colors that my dad used to have on his Waimea boards. And I thought he was just giving me my dad's board. I was like, oh, it's like a replica. So I was confused on what was happening. And he's like, here's a board for you. And second surprise is we're going to Jaws right now.
You're going to?
He's like, you're going to Jaws in an hour. So go upstairs, pack your bags, and let's go. And I was like, what? Like, is that even illegal? I don't really want to go to Jaws.
Was a good experience.
I ended up going, and it was an amazing experience. I had
towing.
I just paddled.
Ooh, bro.
So I just paddled. I had amazing waves. I was scared going out, and then I got in the lineup. It just took me a little bit of time. I got really comfortable, and I got some bombs. I got a barrel.
Oh.
The second day I surfed, I got a big barrel, biggest barrel steel I've ever had on a 9.6, just bottom turning on this wave. thinking I've never been on a wave that big that's barreling, and I thought the lip was gonna land on my head, but I just made it under the lip. And I got inside, and I like went too high, and I came back down, and I purled and fell. But after that, I got really inspired to surf big waves and kind of do that. But then, you know, qualified for a tour the next couple of years, and it's kind of hard to do all that. But I got invited to the Eddie 2 years ago, so I was excited about that. And then last year I didn't get invited, so I think just got to put in some time over there and, you know.
All right, it's a challenge. When you surf all the time, you feel more comfortable. Yeah. But when you're on a tour, riding, competing, you're surfing. You don't dedicate as much as you would like.
It's hard to dedicate that time. Because you don't want to get hurt, all these things, you know, you might be traveling somewhere when the waves are big, trying to try boards, for instance. I'm on a new shaper. I'm trying to try boards on high performance waves. So
your surfing is very, you surf tubes very well, and you have a progressive surf with beautiful aerial turns, you know. It's easy to get hurt, no?
Yeah.
In a tour, you know, and nobody wants to get hurt. If you get hurt, you lose the ear, right? Yeah. You get hurt one time?
Yeah, I did. I did my MCL. I did my MCL 3 years ago, and then I did my patella knee in like halfway through the year. So there's been years where I had to skip like 3 events, or there's been years I've had injuries and just surfed through it and tried my best. And I think a lot of us, there's probably 60% of the tour probably has ongoing injuries that's bothering them. But I think that's just the nature of being an athlete. You have to learn how to like push through that and like do it correctly and be smart about it, safe about it. But like it's pretty rare when you feel 100% healthy. Yeah. Like when I feel that way, I'm like, fuck, I'm so thankful.
If the back's not giving you trouble, that's good enough, right?
Yeah. So I think you just learn like Baron Mamiya. I'm staying with him. We're actually in a heat together tomorrow, and he tore his MCL at the last event. He's got like a small grade 2 tear, but still like that's, you know, it's hurting. But he's learning how to
I hope
surf through that.
How's when you compete with friends? You know, it's different when you compete.
Yeah, I mean, we understand it's the nature of our job, and sometimes we travel together, and we might end up being in a heat together, and it's all good. We're friends on the beach, but when we go out there, we're gonna do our job.
Everyone wants to do the best.
Yeah, we're professional and we surf and we do our best to make the heat no matter what. And then after it's all good. Yeah. You know, sometimes there's you get in, you know, confrontations in a heat, but I think most of the tour, we're all friends and we know how to just talk things out or let things go. I don't think there's really been any like, it's probably not like how it was back in the day, you know? Yeah. Guys getting slapped or, you know, fighting on the beach. Yeah. And there's also a lot we can lose, you know, sponsorships. You know, we don't want to be on Instagram punching someone.
No need. Like, and did you travel to Indonesia, Bali, and Mentawai?
Yeah. I've done a bit of. I spent a month there last year. Yeah. After the off season, I went there.
Caught good.
Yeah, I always get amazing waves.
What you like Lance's left?
I like Lance's right. I haven't got Lance's left good. Green bush, amazing wave.
Good feel like a little pipe, huh?
It's a little pipe, but it's still heavy, shallow, thick, and shallow.
Yeah, and the other place who is shallow too, Lance's left in a final of the wave. When you end in the wave, very shallow, no?
I haven't surfed. I surfed Lance's left, maybe like this big. So I was like
difficult. Huh?
Yeah, I wasn't. It was just it was a day where the waves were small, and I was there with my dad. Yeah. And my dad, all my brothers, and my sister was there in the Mentawais on a different boat. But we all actually met at Lance's left. Oh yeah. One morning she messaged us. Somehow we had Wi-Fi, and she said, "Oh, we're in Lance's left, and we're nearby." So we met her there.
I caught Lance's left really good. You know, was the best wave I had was a good 8 foot with a sets of 10, but was very easy, you know, like instead of being scary, you know what I mean, was the sets come the same place, you know what I mean? The wind was light, you know, 2-3 guys in the water, so it was a good time.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, unreal, you know. What about the Hawaiians connection? I think the culture, very different, you know, for all over the world. Every country have your culture, but Hawaii have, you know, you guys keep and are proud for your culture, you know.
Yeah, I think growing up, you know, I think it's definitely different than. I don't see myself as like an American. People might not like that from the U.S. Like, but you know, I think of myself as a Hawaiian. I'm not American, but I'm Hawaiian.
Yeah,
so I'm
no.
super proud to be on tour and spread that culture, that awareness. And it's not that I need to go around and tell people what Hawaiians are like, but if you come to my home and you're a friend, you come, you know, we'll treat you right. And I learned through my uncles and my dad, like what it is to be a Hawaiian. And it's not, I think just learning, growing up in Hawaii, I grew up surfing, but surfing wasn't like the main thing. It wasn't like my top priority to be a pro surfer. I never really like thought I was going to be on tour when I was young. I watched all the contests and videos, but I never in my head, because we learned surfing, fishing, diving. We learned all these like waterman things, you know. We rode canoes.
You do paddleboard too?
Paddleboarding. It was kind of just like being a waterman in Hawaii. And I think it's growing up in Hawaii is such an amazing childhood because you spend most of your time in the ocean, you know, at the beach, kind of figuring it out for yourself. You know, I never had a coach telling me how to surf. My dad never told me how to surf. He never really like.
He never pushed you.
You have to use your arms like this or technique tips. It was all just like, just go surf.
Enjoy, right?
Enjoy it.
Michael Holt is like, always tell me, Michael Holt, you know, have his son, you know, he always have. Main thing is have fun, enjoy it, you know, if you come a good results and good money, great, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's important because if you're hating it on this tour, if you're not having fun, then it's hard to travel away from your family for 7 months out of the year when you're doing something you're not having fun, you know. So it was always an important thing for my dad. He told us just have fun, whatever. He didn't really care about results. And obviously now it's in my hands. I care about results. You know, I want to do good. So, but having fun, knowing that in my core of like why I surf, you know. I want to have fun. There's times where if I'm not having fun, I won't surf. Yeah. Like I won't surf for a week. I won't surf for 2 weeks. If I'm not like really enjoying it, I'll go do other things in the ocean.
You do out of your heart feel it, right?
Yeah.
I went to Hawaii with Dennis Pang, and I brought on board paddleboards, you know, so I love to go inside like Hawaiians do. I go to the islands by myself. I go long paddle, you know.
Yeah.
So I enjoy and keep in shape,
yeah,
you know?
It's great shape.
And the skinny guys are the good guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when the guy too strong.
You can't have too much muscle.
Yeah,
you're going to cramp up.
All right. So I want to thank you very much. And the last question, say, what's the Aloha spirit? Because my podcast is Aloha podcast. So this came a name exactly for me because I have the Aloha spirit. What's mean Aloha for you?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me on first and foremost. The Aloha spirit to me and like my family, I think, is just because there's two. I think it's a double-edged sword because if you give too much sometimes and people take advantage of you, you know. So I think it's just being yourself. Sorry, should I wait? I think, having the Aloha spirit is being yourself. Like, I have open arms to all my friends from all over the world. I show them when they come my home. I'm super welcoming. Growing up, my parents always had an open door policy, you know? Kids would come in from all over the world. There was always food on the table. There's always something to eat. There was always a bed they could sleep over. And I think that was like, it might be different for everybody else, but I felt like how we grew up, how I watched my parents, how them operate, kind of, you know, it gets put into us kids. And so I think just like being open with people, giving the little kid their time of day, you know, helping the little kid out, you know.
Oh, that's
I don't wanna,
nice.
Yeah, like never being too cool or too, you know, popular, or never being too much for someone that maybe is a fan, or just someone that's trying to paddle out to a break. They don't know what they're doing. For instance, you could call them a kook, or you could help them out. Tell them, hey, you know, it's not safe. Watch out. But like friendly, it's okay. You can enjoy the ocean too. The ocean is for everybody, you know. It's not just for the pros or the locals. It is for everyone. But maybe just teaching people before yelling, you know, like because my brothers, they're surf instructors in Hawaii, like and they deal with tourists all the time. So I think for them, they're like the first line of defense for like how Hawaiians act in the water. So I think them just being able to like teach people instead of yelling, and that person's gonna know and understand, like, oh, okay, they get it now.
They get respect.
They get respect, and then, you know, they're gonna respect you. And if they don't, then they get slapped. I think that's it. Just I don't know.
I think if first thing when you go to Hawaii, you gotta respect the Hawaiian people. Go to the water, let them catch the wave. Then one wave come to you. Then you come to be friends, you know, and have a good time. Thank you very much. My mahalo. And good luck for the contest, good competition. Thank you for the sponsor for Qboa, for Sense, for my team here. Aloha. Take care. Mahalo.